Hello students, I am Seema Joseph. Today I will be teaching you changes around us. Children, you must have noticed there are a lot of changes around us. Like the simple thing what we start with is with our clothes. What you wore yesterday, you don't wear it today. You change, isn't it? So in our day-to-day life, we can see so many changes around us. Like suppose if you are looking around outside your window, you can see the plants. How a plants grow from a seed to a plant. It is slow changes, but then it keeps on growing day by day. In the same way, children, suppose if you see yourself, years back you were an infant, a small baby, then gradually you started growing up, and in another few years you will grow to an adult, and later after adult you will come back to your old age. So this is how we keep on growing. So from this you can make out anything that becomes different. See, you can see here, anything that becomes different undergoes a change. This changes occurs in different ways, like change in size, color, position, shape, temperature, state, etc. Now you will ask me, how does it change in size? Suppose if you see a balloon, if you blow a balloon, from a contracted form it will grow into a bigger form. In the same way, children, you must have played with the dough, atta ya clay, what you play at home. You might have used this dough to make different shapes. Mummy makes chapati out of it, isn't it? So suppose you make a chapati, it is not perfectly round. What you do it? You again crumple it, make a ball, and again you try to roll it and make a round chapati. So this is, you are changing the size of it. Like the color, in the same way changes occur due to color. How does this color change? Like even in a period over the years, you must have seen iron rusting, isn't it? Suppose if you keep anything made of iron in water or outside your house, you must have seen it into a reddish brown color. That is rusting of iron. So in this the color changes, from black it changes into reddish brown. In the same way, children, suppose you must be having, you can ask your mother, she must be having silver jewelries at home. So if you keep that silver jewelry for a longer period of time, you will notice that the white color of the silver changes into black. So this change occurs due to change in color. Now position. Suppose you have say this balloon. Suppose I have a balloon in my hand, and suppose I push it up, it goes up. So the position of the balloon is changing from one place to another. In the same way, children, suppose you must have seen people climbing the mountain top. So from the ground level to the peak level, that means their position is changing from the ground to the peak. So these are the changes in position. And one more example, if you play tennis or you play badminton, what do? From one court to the other court, you keep on throwing the ball or the cork. So this is the change in position. Next is the shape. How does the shape change? Tell me. Children, any idea about changing the shape? So the shape changes, like suppose if somebody was, once you had seen the person was very thin, lean and thin. Gradually that person turned out to be fat. So the shape of that person changed, isn't it? And suppose you take a paper. Suppose you take a paper and you fold it. And you might have made an aeroplane out of it, isn't it? This was a plain sheet of paper, simple, and you started folding it in the shape of an aeroplane. I hope all of you all know how to make an aeroplane. So you change the shape of the paper by making an aeroplane like this, isn't it? So in this, the shape of the paper has changed. And once you will open this aeroplane, it will again come back to its original shape. isn't it? Now we will see the state. How does the state of matter changes? How does the changes occur due to the state? Like suppose you might have, the best example for the different states of changes are the states of matter, that means forms of water. How does a water change into ice, or how does a water change into water vapor? So ice changing into water and then water changing into water vapor, that is an example of the state. In the same way, temperature. If you see the temperature, children, like suppose you must have seen a wheel. Can you see here a wheel? And this wheel is made out of wood. This wheel is made out of wood. Okay, and there is a ring made out of iron. So you want to fix this iron ring on this wooden wheel. How do you do that? How do you do that? You have to fix the iron wheel on the both the wheels are of the same size. How do you do it? You heat this iron wheel, this iron ring. If you will heat it, it will expand. Once it is expanded, you can fit it in this wooden wheel, and once it is cooled, it again contracts. So that is how the temperature also helps. In our day-to-day life, you can see there is another type of change, that is the reversible change and irreversible change. So children, you must have seen a few things happening around us, like suppose lights. You must be having switchboards at home. You keep on switching on and switching off of light. What happens if you switch on and switch off the light? This is a reversible change. You can switch it on also and you can switch it off also. So this is a reversible change. You can come back to the own position. In the same way, inflated and deflating balloon. Like suppose if I have a balloon, okay, I'll blow the balloon. So the change has occurred. The balloon was contracted, and once I have inflated it, it has become big. If I take out the air from it, what will happen? Gradually it will come back to its original shape. So this is another example of it is an example of reversible change. On the other hand, children, if you see, suppose this is an inflated balloon, isn't it? This is an inflated balloon. The previous one was an example of reversible change. You inflated the balloon and then again it came back to the same position. Now this is again an inflated balloon and we try to burst it. What happened? Can you bring back it to the original position? No, we cannot bring that. So this is an irreversible change. So if bursting of balloon is an irreversible change. In the same way, children, like growing of plants. You must have sowed a seed. The seed gradually grows into a small plant, and then this plant grows into a big tree. Can you bring back the tree back to the seed? No. So that is an irreversible change. In the same way, children, rolling of dough. आटा देखे है ना उसको, if you keep on rolling, you can make it round. रोटी खाने का मन हुआ तो you can make it round. Suppose you want to have parathas, you can fold it and make it into triangular shape or a square shape. So you can keep on changing the shape. Once this dough is baked, can you again bring back to the dough position? No, children. So this becomes baking of dough becomes an irreversible change, and rolling of dough without baking, that is a reversible change. Now children, again if you go ahead, salt and water solution. In the previous chapter we had separation of substances. When we were studying, we had studied how we can separate water from salt or salt from water. So this is a reversible change, because water and salt can be separated by, tell me, by heating. Very good. Once you keep on heating the solution of water and salt, and you collect the water in another vessel, and you can find the residue of the salt will remain the same. In the same way, an example of irreversible change is boiling of tea leaves. You make tea. Suppose if you boil the tea leaves, it becomes little fluffy it becomes, isn't it? So if you try to bring back the tea leaves into the back to its own position, can it come back? No. The extract of the tea leaves, it goes, so it cannot come back to its original position. Now children, another example of reversible change. See, suppose this is a let me show you one more thing. Yes, this is wax. Can you see? This is written rose wax candle, isn't it? So suppose if you heat this wax, what will happen? It will melt. See, this is wax. If you heat this wax, it will melt. So after melting, if you keep it, if you let it be still, what will happen? It will again be in the same position, isn't it? It will freeze and it will be in the same position. So it will become in a solid state. So this is a reversible change. Again, if you want to heat it, it will again become into a liquid form, and if you will leave it, it will again become in a wax form. So this is reversible change. And on the other hand, suppose if you have a candle, this bigger candle, and suppose you burn this candle for half an hour, what will happen? Gradually the candle will burn and it will become shortened, isn't it? Can this be reversed back again into a big candle? No. So this is an irreversible change, because this candle cannot come back to its original position after being burnt. Now, expansion and contraction. Expansion on heating and contraction on cooling. I had told you about this wheel, how this iron ring can be fitted in this wheel, isn't it? In the same way, children, these are the tools used by the farmers. You can see the axe, isn't it? So what do this? These are the iron part of the instrument, and you have to put a wooden stock in it. So how do they put it? They heat this and then they force the wooden log in that ring, and once it is cooled, it fits in that. So after heating, this expands, and once this, say this wooden block is fit in this ring, it contracts. Okay. And now again, folding of paper. I had already told you, once you fold a paper and you make an aeroplane, this is a reversible change, isn't it? See, when I was very small, I used to make aeroplanes. I used to love flying these aeroplanes. I hope you all also do. See children, once you fold it, it becomes an aeroplane, and if you again open it, it becomes a paper again, A4 size paper again. So this is a reversible change. Why? Because nothing is being spoiled. It has come back to its original position. Now you take another piece of paper and you tear it. Can you again bring back to its original position? No. This is an irreversible change. And suppose if you burn this paper, burning of paper or burning of wood is that you don't try it at home. I am just showing you for you to learn. See, suppose if I am burning this paper, what happens? This paper is turning into ash. I have tried it. You don't try it at home, children. Okay. So this is an irreversible change. So children, from today's class, what have you learned? This is another example. Can you see over here? These are the states of matter of water. This is ice turning into water on heating. That is called melting. Again, water is turning into water vapor. That is called, due to heating, that is called evaporation. Then again, if you reverse back, water vapor turning into water is called condensation, and water again turning into ice is called freezing. These are the different states of matter. So children, look at the board carefully, zoom it and see it carefully, and try to copy the important points. I am giving you another 3 minutes to copy this.